Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Time for second quarter update. We're a little bit early, but I've got to travel for work, so I wanted to get this video in and get everybody up to speed. It was requested, like last year, that I give an update on the table saw as I do these updates, just to let everybody know. So far, table saw is running great. No issues. I'm gaining a little bit more confidence in it. And as you've seen from the projects, I've used it quite a bit. So, again, this is, questions and emails from people that I get sometimes through my email, sometimes through comments on YouTube, sometimes through my Facebook page or whatever. But they're usually stuff that I think other people can get a little bit from, so I'm going to go ahead and stick them out here. Question came in. I noticed that you showed two different ways to inlay tools in the under table saw storage. That video was out here not too long ago. Do you prefer one over the other? So that's a tough question to answer. On one side you have Fast Cap, which is fairly neat and clean and simple to use, but it's also pretty expensive. And the other side is the insulation, which is, just running a router bit. It's really cheap, but man, is it messy. So I'm not going to sit here and tout one over the other. I'm going to tell you that they both work. They both work very well. One is expensive, and one is inexpensive and messy. So, hopefully in your drawers it's only something you're doing once or once in a great while. So maybe the mess isn't that big of a deal. That's up to you though. The next question was, do you ever complete any projects that haven't been put on video? And the answer to that is absolutely. We have some family members here who are building a new home. So I've done some dye stain on some doors for them. I built live edge windowsills for their home. And I did some corbels, some tall corbels for a kitchen island to support an overhang on a countertop. And that's just some of them. There's all kinds of projects that don't necessarily get videoed in here. But there's still things that need to be done. Okay, so the next question up had to do with the server rack, and leave it to you guys on YouTube with the eagle eyes to, find this stuff. But the question was, I noticed that the pull-out workstation for the server rack lands in front of the door. Has that created any issues? The short answer is no, it hasn't. It's usually either me or my son working on that. And there's just not a lot of traffic here in the shop, so that hasn't been an issue. Normally when it's just me and my wife here, unless I'm doing something really dusty in the shop, that door stays open, so we can banter back and forth and whatnot. But it really has not created any issues. That the server pullout gets used so infrequently that it really has not been an issue. So the next question up was again about the server, and they wanted to kind of know what was in the server, what I was running over there. I'm going to start by telling you this is all Greek to me. I pay people to do that stuff for me because that is not my forte. But I will tell you, because I asked them for some stats. And it says we're running an Intel server chassis with redundant 550 watt power supplies. We're running an Intel motherboard. The processor is an E3-1245. RAM, we're using Kingston server RAM, and there's 32 gigs loaded up in there. And for storage, we're using a buttload of terabytes of Seagate Barracuda Green hard drives, and then the operating system is Ubuntu, but we also have a separate RAID drive with swappable hard drives. So as things accumulate, we can just swap those out. Like I said, it's all Greek to me, but I'm told as far as servers go, it's a pretty decent server. So that's what I pay those guys to do, right? Is make sure that it's reliable, it's consistent, it's always there when we need it, and as long as it functions the way it's supposed to, I'm a happy guy. All right, so next up, what are the upcoming projects? And for the most part, it's still the same projects on my list, but I'm easily sidetracked to get away from doing those projects. I know that I need to do them, but those projects, like the master bedroom, and I have one more spare bedroom to do, and those sorts of things. For whatever reason, those videos just don't do super well on YouTube. So I don't know. The motivation's just not been there for me to get after those projects, and there's so many other projects to do. It usually is what a spur of the moment project, like this miter station build that I just did. That was very much a spur of the moment. I think that turnaround from, hey, can you build this, to design to picking up lumber was probably around a 2-day turnaround. So a very spur of the moment project. The new storage shed is completely in. I had planned for that whole back wall in there to do lumber storage, just like the vertical lumber storage that I did here in a previous video. But once we got all the lawn equipment in there, man, that space got chewed up in a hurry. So I don't know that we're going to be doing a lot of lumber storage in there. So the next question up is, will there be any slowdown in videos this year due to the work schedule or the coronavirus stuff? I will say, for those that don't know, I work in oil and gas, and I travel refineries, and we have been declared essential, and we're busy. So I'm not anticipating any slowdown in the videos. I'm going to leave it on the 2-week schedule, and I'm not anticipating, but I never say never either. You just never know what life's going to throw at you. Next up is, somebody noticed in one of the videos that there's some new shirts, and yes, they're out there. I do have a decent sized stash on hand. I am shipping, but that ties back into, I also have a brand new website, and I also have a brand new forum site, and I encourage you all to go check those out. The doors should be open, if not by the time this video releases, very soon after, and you'll be able to drop in there and get t-shirts if you want them, or go to that forum site and register, create an account. What a fantastic bunch of guys that are in there, guys and gals I should say. They're always eager to help, answer questions. Sometimes they have questions, and sometimes we work those things out as a group to come up with solutions for woodworking projects and things that are coming up, and working our way through a process. We have a no jerk policy, so you're not going to get mistreated when you drop in. I wouldn't stand for that. So I encourage you all, go check out the forum site, the new website. There's a link to the store on both, so if you want the t-shirts, you can go get the t-shirts. I haven't done any hats or stickers yet. I kind of wanted to get a feel for how the t-shirts were moving. And if everything's moving well, hey, that's great. I'll go do hats and t-shirts next. So, moving on. On the Mitre Bench, I noticed you didn't add any stop blocks or shelving in the lower cabinets. And I didn't. So this Mitre Bench was, again, for a family member, and they're not really a woodworker. They're a homeowner that owns a miter saw that wanted a good home for it. So their needs and wants were a little bit different on the stop blocks for the miter saw. Now I can always go back and add that later. It's a simple addition if they want it. I can either do a rail system like I have, or I can go add in the table stop blocks kind of the way, well, I have those on mine as well, but that's kind of the way that the Wood Whisperer did it, Mark Spagnolo. I can go back and I can do that. It's an easy retro to do it later. But they need to figure out what it is they're doing before they realize, what their flow and their needs are. As for the shelving in the cabinets, they didn't know if they wanted pullouts or if they wanted shelving. So I left them pretty much a blank slate. I did create a template to put shelving pins in it, and I left that with them in case I'm on the road for work. They can add the shelving pins without any issue. And if they want pullouts, then that's probably another retro that I'll do after I come off of the road for work. We talked about the new forum and the website, and so that pretty much wraps up the questions that I had. As far as around the shop and what's new, there's really not a whole lot that hasn't been put on video. The under table saw storage is new. There's no real major new tools and equipment around here. I've done some little organization things and whatnot. And starting in 2021 in January, I'll do another full shop tour just like I did this year in the front end of the year, and show you each piece of equipment and everything along the way. But most of this stuff you guys get to see as we go along. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. I apologize for the length. There were a lot of good questions this time. So again, encourage you all to hit the forums and hit the website. Get a t-shirt if you want one. And yeah, we'll just keep moving on, right? Just move on to the next video. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. And until next time, take care.